I think we are on. Welcome to today's episode of Tuesday Night Edits. I am Andy Gray, and thank you very much for coming along or watching us later on. This is a special episode. Is it a special episode? It's going to be a longer episode than normal anyway. Today is my 50th live stream. It is over a year since I started doing these live streams. I think I started in late April in 2018, doing them a year, pretty much every week, apart from maybe 1 or 2 weeks. So, thank you very much, Peter. Welcome along to your... I've lost count how many times you've been here now, but yeah. Thank you, Laura. Let's just keep the big 50 to live stream numbers, not age. I did speak to a mate at the weekend, and he'd seen my face on Facebook, and the description underneath was celebrating my 50th, and he thought, hold on, Andy's not 50. So yes, I am not 40. I might look it, but I am not yet 50 by a few years before you get here. Thank you, Paul. Thank you all very much for coming along. You are all very, very kind. So yeah, tonight it's an earlier one, so thank you very much for coming along a little bit earlier. It's mainly so I can squeeze in as long a stream as I can before I have to do jobs. Dog to sort out. I'm chicken watching for my neighbours. So I've got them to put to bed, and that all needs done around about 9 o'clock. So we are here for the maximum of 2 hours. Maybe it's a little bit less, you never know. So hopefully we're going to do more than one image tonight. We'd better, seeing as I've got longer to do it in. And also, by the way, I'm on the wine, so watch out. In about an hour's time, things could get fruity. Evening, Andrew. Thank you very much. The big 50 indeed. So yeah, set up for, well, I was going to say a couple of things I was going to mention before I start. If you are a Togcast listener, two sips of wine in the mouth has gone completely. If you're a Togcast listener, yeah, my episode that I recorded with Sam back in February is going live in 2 or 3 weeks' time. The latest episode went out with Tom White, who's also from over here, like a journalism photographer. Very good episode. I've listened to about half of it, but at the end of that Sam said that I'm next, so do watch out for that. But I'll let you know before then. Another thing is I won't be having a live stream next week as well. There's just too much going on. I've got a client during the day and I've got a meeting in the evening, so I unfortunately can't make it next Tuesday for a live stream. So it'll be a fortnight's time before the next one. And the other thing is, I just want to pass on my congratulations to Doug Chinnery for doing a charity climb up Mount Snowdon this morning. He's raising money for Young Minds UK, I think it is. So if you check out Doug, he's on Twitter and everywhere else. There'll be a link to his Just Giving donations page. And he has a book coming out, which I think is getting dispatched in the middle of May. I've got my copy ordered, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. And Doug, if you don't know, does abstract photography. He does multiple exposures, a bit of ICM. Very talented fella, and he's taught pretty much everybody that does that style. So he is the godfather, really, of it all. So yes, do support Doug. Buy his book. The profits from the book do actually go to charity as well. Young Minds as well. Young Minds UK. So do help out where you can for that. So there you go. Right, I think that's probably all the news I need to talk about. Evening, Alan. Good of you to come along as well, sir. Have you been to? Did you get to the Bluebells? Did you or not? I am. Yeah, my book's already out, Andrew. You should know that. Not doing any more yet. I don't think. Right, what am I doing? Why is everything so slow all of a sudden? Right, shut that down for a bit of pace. I better open up Photoshop so we're not waiting 10 hours for that to load up in when we get to that stage. I can't see how long we've been going. Only 5 minutes. This is going to be a long 2 hours, isn't it? Already. So yesterday, because I hadn't been out shooting for a little while, I did a bit of a border raid. Went and pillaged some pictures from north of the border. Yeah, good stuff, Alan. Yeah, headed over the border, and a neighbour of mine had been to Dryborough Abbey, just next to St Boswell's there, and said it was beautiful at the minute. So me and enjoying a ruin, because it is a ruined abbey. I enjoy that type of thing, so I decided to go. So I shot a bucket load of images, filled a card, and looked in a couple of other locations in the area as well. But I think it'll be mainly Dryborough Abbey we're working on tonight. So we're just basically going to have a crack on with that. Please do have a natter in chat. Please do leave a comment if you're watching later on. And in fact, as we go on, depending on how this image comes together, I may well print it off and then offer it as a competition prize. But that's only if it's any good. So let's get the screen up and get to work. So yeah, Dryborough Abbey, if I can find a proper picture of it here. So you got a rough idea what it actually looks like, and not my ICM style. There we go. That's kind of the thing we're looking at. Plenty of ruinous, you know. Obviously, there's a big space in the middle where a church used to be. So there's only like little bits of it left. And see, that is the front door of the church, part of it. So not a lot left at all, really. And then at the back there's the remnants of cloisters, etc. Lovely spot. Highly recommend going if you are into a little bit of history and that type of thing. So I did this afternoon in preparation for tonight, because nobody wants to look through 706 images. Although that would probably take up the first hour of the show. I went through and did my usual thing of picking out images that might work. So I've been through and given my usual star ratings to see if what there is to work with. And so we're gonna crack on with some of these. Probably going to start at the start. I even tried some beautiful blossom out. So I did shoot some ICM of this blossom tree. So there's a few options. It was an incredibly sunny day, very, very bright. So it was very tricky to get some nice soft edges to the images. I mean, you can see this. There's quite a bit of detail, like in the edges of the doorways, etc., that doesn't help for that painterly look. So we might struggle with getting something decent tonight. I had to really move fast, like here, to get that hint of brush, you know, feeling like a brush stroke, or like, you know, mark making. I've heard it described as recently. So Peter, you and your snow. I mean, you want to have words with him upstairs to get him to stop snarling on you. It's May on tomorrow. Yeah, it's May. Is it tomorrow? Yeah, it's May tomorrow, for crying out loud. No matter where you are, it should be stopping snowing now. Unless, of course, you're in the southern hemisphere. Then I can kind of understand it. But you're not. You're in the northern hemisphere. So we're not really sure how things are gonna come off tonight. Some of it was pretty tricky. I think as a second image I might work on something like this. Love this, I was going to say window. You know, this decorative former window in the gable end of this part of the structure. We'll call it that. And some of the, you know, some of this motion seems to be quite nice. So I'm hoping these ones might work well. But we might come across to that one on the second lot. Let's have just a quick flick through the rest. So just looking at different angles as I walked around the building. Tried mainly to stay on the lit side. So I'm pretty much looking east on most of these. Because although if I was on the other side of the building, I'd be just looking straight into the sun, and that's incredibly difficult to deal with. So there's, I mean, I'm hopeful of getting, even if it's not tonight, is getting some decent images out of this. And then went up to Scott's view, shot some normal HDR bits without the ND filter on, so I could see what I'm doing. And anyways, we'll come to that in another episode, or you might see results of that on social media at some stage. But I think we might just, well, start at the start. Maybe look at these first 5 images. Maybe just do a quick edit on this just to see how, get the juices flowing again. See how they come about. The maybe's a bit straight laced. I've got high hopes for this one. Really like that nice shape on the ruined window, gable in that gable end. But we'll see. So we're going to start with these 5 and just do the normal adjustments. How vivid I want to go here. Press auto and just see what happens. That just darkens it, that's no good. What I would like is open the shadows right out. Here's, I want to go the other way to lighten it. Get it a bit more ethereal straight away. Bring these whites down a touch just to so they're not really blown out at this stage. Drop the contrast a little bit, otherwise it's going to start getting a bit too desaturated. Right then, knock that vibrance down, that's a bit over the top. Decent starting point, I think. Actually, let me just try warming it up just to see. Cloudy. That's maybe better. Start off with that warm cast straight away. HSL, I'm actually gonna go the other way, just gonna mute those greens a touch. We are going to end up red. I can tell you that now. Get the vision, get the dust spots cleaned up, because it is shot quite narrow. I think I was shooting at f11, so there's a few in view to deal with. Not many, and it's quite a busy scene, to be honest. So no great shakes about them showing up, and we'll just sync all those across. just check them over. This is probably a good one to clean up most of the other dust spots, because it's quite, there's not a lot of detail in this one. Just get some of these worst ones out. It'll not matter too much once everything comes together. So they all look kind of fine, and we'll just stick these into Photoshop and see what happens. When this loads up, no doubt this will be when the stream craps out a bit on us, because the computer will be struggling to go up. Right, that's them loaded in. Do my usual through the blend modes. Initial thoughts aren't great. Let's look at darken to start with. What I am going to do, I am just going to knock these layers out. This one I am actually going to move to the top because I've got an idea for that one already. Maybe even this one as well, because they were the looser kind of ones. And just look at blending these ones together. That's reasonably pleasant. I will just check something. That must be a lump of mason. No, it's not a lump of masonry. I was thinking it was just a big alignment issue. I bring that over there, that looks better. Drop that one in, manoeuvre this one around a bit. It's a bit more in line. And then this very loose one, there's basically no definition at all. So that's about there. But this one I was really thinking about sticking soft light or multiply. Maybe soft light just to keep it lighter at the minute. Just going to duplicate that one as well. Use that one as overlay. I am going to get some masking game on. Just gonna. That's gone the wrong way. Always forget which one's way. That one and that one really needs to be similar. That edge a bit more of a definition. Is that edge doing anything at all? Not really. Did you go to that one last year, Alan? That Northern photography show. It's quite small though, isn't it? What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna soften this edge, just so I can use a bit more of it. Use a bit more canvas to build the image on. I'm not too fussed about these areas down here. I can kind of crop them out. So that one, I'm gonna across to there. Takes that edge out. Those I wanted to leave that in dark. We'll just use the paintbrush tool, or even the eraser would be the best one, I suppose. And then yeah, that one, and then just erase that bottom corner out. And I'm going to reduce the opacity and just lighten this foreground area a bit, just to help ease things along. Right then, I think that centre's quite yellow, isn't it? Might need to scale that back. So let's drop in a see, desaturating's quite good, but it might have a negative effect on everything, so let's forget about that one. And actually let's add in a new layer and drop some colour into there. Stick it about there, paint bucket tool, go to hue and then drop that back. Then we're not, we're not really losing that beautiful red cherry tree or whatever it is on the back. I'm not really sure it's fog though, Peter. Oops. Noisy phone. Yeah, it's got that drifting in fog kind of feel about it. But yeah, right. I think that's not too offensive. So let's let's have a little bit of more of a play with that. I'm thinking. We just stick this straight into Analog Effects Pro now. And then let's see where we're heading with it. It's not bad red, that actually. Can't pronounce what the hell it says on the bottle, like, but hey ho. Is that the stream starting to crap out on me? Right. Obviously, just going to use presets to start with. Not looking to reinvent the wheel tonight. Just as a starting point, there's nothing jumping out at me at the minute, which is slightly disturbing. It could be a quickly abandoned image. Look at some of my new ones, see what they're like. Not keen. Let's see how things are interacting. Look at how horrible that yellow is. There's too many hard edges in this image. Let's actually keep it the right way around. Just explore that second exposure. See if there's anything that starts enjoying itself. Out of the way because it's distracting me. May have to be just some kind of off the edge type of image. Possibly look to blur this second exposure just so those edges aren't there. That gets too much. Fine tuning needed here, I think. Yeah, it's fine. I don't think this is going to come to much, this one. It's one of the beauties of doing this live, though. You can see that they don't always go as planned. Changing colour schemes. Stick with warm, I think. See, I haven't even done much editing on the changes on the curves, so zero them out, bring them whites right down, darken it a touch, luminosity, let's just play with that a little bit. Very early, Paul. Yes, sneaking around. Well, plan was to do it, do a longer stream, but I have things to do. So really starting to like this area here, just the edge of these trees. So that's what we're getting there now. So yes, apologies for being early, Paul. If had you gone along to my channel, you would have seen the reminder. Click the button to set reminder and it would have popped up for you. There's tricks to everything, you know. Lens vignette, let's jam this down a little bit more or less. Do we go ethereal? Just a little bit lighter. You know me, I like things darker. Or so we keep things light. We can jam it in again, can't we? Let's go lighter. So instead of the lens vignette being black, it's the lens vignette's actually white and lightens it all. But I'm really concerned about maintaining this area here, the edge of these trees, because they look quite cool. Right. And obviously, being on the wine, the editing could go completely to pot tonight. That's maybe not a bad thing. We might get something completely different to normal. Right, I am thinking more levels and curves. No, come back. Red, I'm just going to add in it. 'No'. 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 ' the ends. Just a wee bit below on that corner for the reds, just that it doesn't become overly, you know, too red in here. Blues. See, my concern before was it was too yellow, and I really don't want to be adding in too much yellow. Like so. So I am thinking, let's something like that. And I might, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back into Photoshop, run this through Analog Effects Pro again, and hopefully kind of balance it out by darkening down this left hand side to give a little bit more balance, because I think it's overly bright here. Very much one side dominant, but I love this area here. Very nice there. And then there'll be colour, a bit of colour tweaking to do. It can be very much too red, John, because I've got to think about printing. And Mr. Atkinson that's in here, he's got to think about printing my work as well, so I can't go too much on the red side. Hi John, to be honest, I don't sell a lot of prints, and if anybody could tell me how to get customers would be great. Well, the one thing I am doing is I've got an exhibition coming up in July, so fingers crossed that will hopefully open up avenues and get more eyes on, and hopefully, you know, get a few more print sales rolling. I'm doing a very small spring fair market thing in a local village hall on Sunday, and the way I'm selling prints there is I'm getting rid of some old stock stuff from before I did ICM stuff that's been all packaged up, and I'm going to sell them off dirt cheap. Just get a shot of them and hopefully get a bit of cash in, and then I can print more better stuff like this. Not that this is better, I'm just saying that this is a more viable, I'd rather go down this avenue than not. So I think a lot of it's just getting the word out there. Yeah, I've been, you know, I was in a magazine the other week, and yeah, I probably haven't made any money out of prints, but I'm thinking it might have had a direct impact on how much tuition I've been doing recently. Because the good, you know, the one-to-one tuition's been great this spring already, so that's good. Plenty of customers, so that's all lovely jubbly. Very happy about that. So yeah, I don't really know how to get more customers apart from, and I'm terrible at putting myself out there, and I'm terrible at business, so it's tricky. And by going down this avenue of intentional camera movement and abstract images and all that kind of stuff, I do feel like I've probably lost 90% of my customer base because it's all a bit weird and a bit different. But then again, I'm just otherwise I'm just a terrible landscape photographer. No better than your hobbyist who goes out with a phone. as a normal landscape photographer, so being able to go down this road into something that not everybody does gives me an earning potential. Just maybe it's not a print selling potential. That's the only thing. That's too washed out. Again, so yellow. Everything's so yellow. No, come here. Come back. Right. I'm really, with a lot of these now, I'm starting to lose the structure, and what I'm really looking for is that bit of left hand side definition. That's kind of what I was after, not disrupt the image completely. So let's spin this that way. Again, very yellow. Usually it's red that's my problem, I can't get away from red, but today it's yellow I'm having trouble with. Look at how terrible that yellow is. Not good. Let's not go down that road. Everything is so yellow. Well, even this one I thought wasn't going to be yellow is. So disturbing. Although it's looking a little bit better. Let's reduce its dominance. Turn it upside down, hopefully get some effect of them trees on the left hand side to balance it. We can also always sort the colour problem. There's adding a little bit more in there from before. That's one thing, is we're losing this really nice area here. So I'm looking to maybe expand that. Drop that down there until it's kind of balanced. Basic adjustments. I need to reduce that contrast, reduce that. Jesus, that saturation's terrible. Who made these presets? That would be me. So, you know, when this all kind of starts, when, you know, the initial Lightroom edits, just can't quite get, you know, that starting point. It's not helping. Actually, let's zero these out. That helped the last one. Lift that, bring down the highlights a bit. This is going to be red. Not that happy. Let's play with the blue. There's fine margins of play here, so you push it too far and you're going to end up magenta-y and purples in here. You know, the other way, you know, somebody's just painted and tipped a bucket of yellow all over your screen. So it's very small, minor adjustments. Ideally keeping away from the yellow side of things, just by playing with the curves. Very small adjustments. Something like that. Is that much of a difference from the last time? Very marginal difference there. I'm not even sure I've even darkened that side down. But the one advantage of this is I can then, if I strengthen this, I can bring that exposure down, bring this exposure down, gives me a better sky to play with, and then this I can actually blend with the previous layer. Actually bring that contrast up so there's a little bit more definition to latch on to, and just bring that exposure up a little bit. Let's see how this looks. I'm really just going to look at blending these two images together, these two layers. Yeah, could do, Peter. I'm not too fussed about. I'm pointing at the screen, and then I'm pointing at the wrong screen with the mouse. This area down here, I'm not too concerned about that being too, being empty with that light, without it, with that lighter patch. What I'm looking for is just a bit of an infill. Right, let's just change the blend mode. See what options that gives us to dick around with. Yeah, not there. So let's have a think. I think I'm lightening the foreground, because ideally I only really want it to apply this top layer in the sky, I think. Let us play. Let's paint in some white. Big fat brush. Bit more. Flow is on blue. Let's get that right up. Let's actually just undo that last little bit, because I really like this area in here. Just looking to get some of that back. So I'm going to reduce the flow and the opacity to something in the middle, and then just kind of apply some of that in there just to soften that off a little bit on that building, because it was very bright. That's just the sun hitting it. New adjustment layer. I need some contrast, brightness and contrast. Here we go. And I'm just going to use this to give some of these edges, the buildings a bit more definition. So only really applying to that, and also in the next step I'm going to desaturate, because this layer is, with increasing the contrast, it just increases the saturation. It's just naturally what happens. I'm just going to pin. No, get this the right way around, Andy. Invert that. No, come back here. Need that up. Invert the mask. There we go. Why isn't there a keystroke for that? Paintbrush, white, and then just across the tops here. Paint in a bit more contrast, just so you can get them edges. Something like that. And hue saturation layer, just need to drop that back to maybe what it was before, and then copy that mask across. Yes, and that will have just slightly desaturated that, the tops of those buildings. One thing that's slightly disappointing is this one's kind of faded away, but let's put that down to artistic license and let's not get too concerned about that. It's just it's there, but it's not. That's the only thing that's slightly concerning me. Nothing really concerns me. It's not life and death. There's plenty of detail in there. Still really enjoying this tree shape. I've just noticed there's an edge there. Oh no. how we're going to sort this. Oh, we'll sort that out in a minute. How did that edge get past me? Maybe I didn't crop it properly. Viveza. Let's get into Viveza. Let's just get these layers built up. Let's get that megabyte count up. We're already up to 850 megabytes for the size of this file. You would think it was an actual small 12 megapixel camera. So God knows what I would do if I had a D850 or equivalent of whatever brand you use. I think my computer would be weeping. Right then, let's have a... Yeah, Viveza, that's what we're after. "45 minutes down, that's not too bad. I'll just have a top up here. Second glass. I'm sure the editing will get better now we're onto the second glass. Right. Yeah, I want more structure, but not everywhere. So this is where the U point, the control points come in. So I want more structure on the edge of this gable end. So that can be quite a lot actually, and I can bring the brightness down on that as well. I want more structure basically everywhere on the building. Something like that, and I want more structure in here. How's that mask looking? It's applying to the correct areas anyway, so that's all we can ask for really. Oh, maybe he wants a little bit of yellow. A little bit. The only thing is it bleeds into the sky. So that's fine with the local adjustments there. Let's go for some wholesale changes. Indeed. Let's just go for a couple of percentages. See what these sliders do. Just playing at the minute. Just getting my head around it all. See how far you can push things and see what the potential creative choices are. Then looking at colour, or the hue I should say, just looking at very small adjustments here. Let's go in 424, let's look at a -3. How's that affecting the colour? Not too bad actually. Not too bad at all. Feels like it's a bit convoluted, but well, we're getting there. It ain't a competition winner anyway. I'm just going to copy that to there, that point there, just for a bit more of a... Actually, the effect of that can be smaller. Just come back into the middle of there. It just gives that wall a bit of definition. Well, it's not really the wall, it's the inside of the ruined gatehouse. This gable end is actually behind this structure. Here is like half a gatehouse. So your gateway in is along here, through this hole here, across a little bridge, and then that's actually cellars there, and then you know you're into the Abbey complex from that direction anyway. So I think we are not far away. So let's just OK that and then see how this looks. There's our test if it's... There's not a lot of colour there now, is there? Now I'm looking at it like this. It looks quite washed out. There you go, that, and it's just ridiculous. So just a few percentages maybe. Not red. Stay away from the red, Andy. Lightness, darkness. A wee bit of lightness just to... Let's get back close in again. Still quite washed out. This is a frustrating image. I'm happy with the colour there. I'm still enjoying, really, just so you can see, still enjoying this area here. And me little patch of fog, as Peter referred it to. Hi David. No, you haven't missed much. Just me struggling with an image, as usual. I see you've been getting yourself a camper van. Very cool, mate. Lots and lots of trips out now then. Right, I think I am about... Am I about done on this one? I think I am. Save. Wait a while. Whilst that's, I'll just remind you, you can sign up to my newsletter from that address there, bit.ly/an newsletter. That will take you to my newsletter sign up page. And I promise I do not spam. I think I've sent 2 newsletters in the last 18 months. So it'll be very, very sporadic. Apart from coming up soon, because I've got an exhibition to come out. I've got a podcast appearance and so on and so forth. Plenty going on, but I still won't spam you. Right, we are done. Shut that down, back to Lightroom. What I'm gonna just try, just a bit of an adjustment, and I'm gonna put a radial filter on. I'm gonna invert it, soften the feather, and I'm just gonna, actually I think probably not invert it. Leave the centre as it is, and it's a bit harsh that. Let's make that circle bigger. Let's just make that half a stop, and then make a new radial filter in the middle, just off there. And let's increase that, and that's of course once inverted. Just a smidgen lighter. Wee bit of contrast. I'm going to drop the highlights. And drop the shadows a little bit. this outside one, I'm actually going to drop the blacks. There's a wee bit of contrast. So there's all kinds of things to do on an image. I think we're actually getting closer to it. It's by no means best work at all, but hey ho. Gives you a bit of a hint on the stuff I struggle with day in and day out. See, Alan, thank you very much for coming along, mate. Give us a shout about later in the week if the sun continues to shine. We can find some bluebells. Not that I don't know what I'm going to do with bluebells, like, but it would be good to see you, fella. Right, I think we'll call that one done. So, now that Alan's gone, if you would like me to print this image and you have a chance of winning it at the end of this stream, please leave a comment in the after the video, and out of all the comments that are left, please don't be offensive in them, I will draw a winner from that, and I will send them an A3 print. I would print it in front of you now, but I'm not confident I have enough ink in the printer to be able to print one, and I haven't got any reserve cartridges. I don't particularly want the printer to sit with no ink in for a couple of days, so I will sort that out at a later time. But if you would like to win this print, win a print of this image, I may not print any more of this image. It may end up being a 1 of 1. I'm not sure. Let's wait and see. Right, anyways, that's everybody talking. Catch you later, Alan. Yeah, so if you want to win this, then please do leave a comment afterwards, after the stream, because I don't think you can comment during the stream, which is ridiculous. So yeah, do that. You're in a chance of winning an A3 print of this image of Dryburgh Abbey. And Dryburgh Abbey being a property of historic Scotland. So please do check them out and all the sites that they manage, and support them if you can. Right then, that's the all that bump sorted with. Let's have a look at another image, because we've still got an hour. So there's a chance of getting 2 images out, and since we've done one that corner of the Abbey, let's do something a little bit different, or a different view I should say, because these are all still the same kind of spot, not blossom ones. To me, this is the iconic view of the, well, not this bit. I was going to do that one, well, excuse me. I think I need to have a go at these kind of images, because to me this is the iconic kind of view. This is the kind of view you first see as you walk into the site. Obviously a bit churchyard in front of you. Lovely little spot, and hopefully there's enough soft edged kind of data here to get something half decent with. I'm hoping. I really do hope. So let's just pick a start point and go from there. I want something fairly loose to start with, so I'm thinking I'm just gonna pick some of these out. So these softer ones, kind of radiating towards those. I want some with some detail. And a washed out one for the foreground here. Okay, that's quite washed out. Bit random, that one. Too much detail, and I think this is a different angle. and then we're out of it. So how many did I pick there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 5. I always pick 5 out. Why is that? That's for the hell of it. Pick out 6. We can always jettison one. Let's live dangerously, yeah? Right, let's select all them. Start working on them. Develop. Again, got to do the same thing. Giving the camera a wiggle is a great thing, David. Thoroughly recommend it. Detail, let's get that to there. Maybe try a preset. My nuclear ones, they all end up very red. They're going to end up yellow. Grrr. We could go with something like that. Let's just check that the detail in the ISOs are reduced. That's fine. Yeah. Let's do something ballsy. Let's go with this one. See how it ends up. Just gonna see if I can warm it up a bit. It's already nuclear red. Sure. I'm just gonna play with this. Open the shadows out a bit more. Otherwise, it's going to be extremely dark. HSL slider, and I'm really just going to try to change this blue a bit. Just kind of lighten it a bit, warm it up a bit. This green. Because all the problem I had with the yellow before, one of my maybe push it quite red. Let's go with that. Let's be brave. Never know what you're gonna get. Lens correction, did I do that? Yes, I did. Open vignette out, so there's more to play with. Basic. Open the shadows right out, may as well. Dust spots, well, I could see one when it wasn't on. Just in there. There'll be more than that, like, but there. So that's that one. Let's just sync them and see what we've got. Anybody else drinking tonight, by the way? A sly glass of wine after dinner, maybe? Right, see how this affects the others. Right, okay. It's not really done much to this one, has it? Okie dokie. We will endeavour. Right. Stick these into Photoshop. And wait for an age whilst I check my messages. 2 messages. Is that us? One more layer to layer. Right then, we are ready to go. And this one, I can guarantee you, will end up red. Ooh, could look dark. It could end up looking very dark. Look at that. That's a starting point. Lighting's just obliterated the landscape. Overlay I've found recently just isn't. I don't know whether it's the images I'm making or what I'm trying to blend together. Just overlay is not being conducive to image making at all. That used to be one of my go-to blend modes. One of them inverted ones. Nah, not tonight. I think we are looking for a custom blend here. I think we will start with darken and see where we end up. I'm going to take that layer and let's just make all these invisible to start with. I'm going to put that one on the bottom. I'm going to put that one on the top and start layering together. See where things are meant to roughly be, about there. That one. This one about here. I might think it might end up that I actually jettison the really detailed layer like that one and go for something fairly not washed out, but it's fairly soft, brush like. Let's all jump into that. Sometimes you can get a bit too precise with layering these, lining these up when you don't need to necessarily. Something like that. So everything's kind of lined up. Let's go for another blend mode. Another look through the blend modes to see what we've got. It's almost a nighttime scene, that, isn't it? Using the multiply. So in theory, you could soften that. You know, you could reduce the opacity of all of them so much to make that viewable. Lighting isn't working. I think we may. Let's try multiply, but I'm gonna just build the layers up. So we've got that one. So this one I am actually going to reduce the opacity to start with. Add in this shot, which is fine. The opacity reduced on that one. This one is okay. See what the other two do. Drop that by half. Actually, that one this is the one that's really changing it. It's almost as if it's going to night mode. On that one, it almost looks like a moonlit scene. Hi, Michaela. Yeah, well, I mean, if you don't mind subscription models of things, then you know, the photo package, it's, you know, it's the cost of a couple of cups of coffee a month. You know, if you go to these branded coffee houses, you know, it's $9.99. Sometimes there's offers on. So to me, I mean, these days it's a no-brainer not to have the photo package at least. Makes it affordable if you've got you know, a tenner spare every month. You get all the latest updates. torn about this top layer. Or this one, I should say. Let's put this, and my original idea was I was going to put this one on as soft light, I think. Look at that. No, I'm not going down that route tonight. I'm relying on that trick too much recently. Yeah, right. I like it, yeah. Get your head together, lad. This is going to look very classic 1800s, kind of almost like a sketch, isn't it? Gonna end up like that. Right, let's just, because if it's fairly close, just gonna crop these down. That kind of down there. That one needs chopped off at the bottom there. About there, that'll do. We'll come in at this side. I think that's roughly. Can I see what I'm doing down that left side? It's so dark. You know, the only thing I'm kind of worried about is when we manoeuvre things around is that that's an extremely strong shape. That window in the gable end of that chancel. Part of the ruined church. Aisle. You know, whichever bit's on the north and south alignment of churches. I can't remember, I'm not sure what they are. Right, I need a curves adjustment. Gonna bring that up to about there. Just to lighten the foreground a bit. Yeah, that'll do. Let's stick some colour into there as well. Let's go a bit more orange than what we did before. Hue and blend mode, reduce that because it's going to interfere with the sky too much. Do I? Which one was the full strength one? That one. I think I might actually just slip a little gradient mask onto that layer there. That's gone the wrong way around because I always get it the wrong way around. And just lighten that foreground up a little bit. It's still probably a bit too much detail from what I like. Done it the wrong way around as well. Yeah, I'm just going to lighten some of these elements. There we are. That's a little bit better. Then it doesn't become a muddy hole on the left hand side here. Because I really don't want that. Hi Rob. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Yeah, who would have thought it after that first episode, which was terrible by the way. Oh, bone to pick with my regular listeners and viewers. Those that were watching last week. Why didn't you tell me I was using the wrong microphone? Oh yes, very slippery slopes, Peter. Don't want to go down. Don't want to go down the blend if and inverting routes too often. You start going down there and you start going down every time you want to do something. Actually, I'm just going to paint out some of that edge there just to reduce the dominance. And just in that section in there as well, otherwise it'll become very muddy. How are we looking for the rest of the image? Okay, I think it was this one. This one I might just add in a little mask and just raise a little bit of the edges there. Quite like the, I'm pointing at the damn screen, sorry, this here, that tree, because without that layer it just becomes a smudge. I'm quite liking that there is a defined edge there. So just be conscious of that kind of thing. Right, I think we are nearly on anything I like. I like with all that taken away. And no, let's not. Let's get the eraser again and just. Oh, it's tempting to go overboard with this, isn't it? Oh, just take that reliance away from all that. Oh, and before you know it, it's all gone. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Have I improved it? Just checking these over. Oh, now that one, taking that one out, and that reduces to that really sharp, may help. Just soften it a touch. Just lots of little clicks just to soften it off. May help just purely so it doesn't dominate when we go into Analog Effects Pro. So it doesn't like really dominate what it does on when we turn it upside down. Thanks, Paul. We're still only just building this up at the minute. We haven't gone upside down yet, so we don't know how things are going. Because obviously you know the way I work. I make a starting image and then do mad things. And tonight, mad things inspired by red wine. So all bets are off tonight. Right then, let's all jumble these together. Launch Nick and see what happens. We're getting some good viewership tonight. Thank you very much all for coming along. Please do join in and chat if you are watching and haven't said hello yet. We're a friendly bunch. Please do get involved. And remember, if you want to win a copy of the image that I just made before, leave a comment. And depending on how this one looks when it's all said and done, this may well be on offer as well for doing exactly the same thing. There may well be two winners tonight. Well, not tonight. Winners eventually. I will give you the chance of maybe it's the end of the week or by next Tuesday to have commented on tonight's episode to be in with a chance, and in with a chance for me to order some ink so I know I can actually print them. That would go down well. And actually maybe get some sponsorship off Photospeed as well if they're out there as well. That would be lovely. You can provide some paper for me and I'll mention you. I don't know. See what happens. I've got to be nice to Photospeed. I've got an exhibition coming up. Right, let's have a look at some options. Oh god, blood red. Let's just drop this here. Why is it out of focus? Lot of sharpness. Doesn't bode well for when I do find the right image. Again, as usual, I just use these as a starting point, then kind of tweak and work on from there. Ooh. Let's just drop some of that down and out the way. Everything's very nuclear red today. It's a bit of a... I'm going to say it's a bit of a ball ache. It's not a ball ache, it's just... What have I done to my colours to deserve all this yellow, all these yellows? They've been bad in a past life. Spin it. Spin it. Spin it. Spin it. I think one of the problems is that because the gravestones are in the foreground, it means you're not getting a clean foreground to use in that second exposure. Which one was the one I was looking at before? Looked quite potentially had some potential. Maybe if I could sort the colour out. It has that classical kind of look, doesn't it? Yeah, so if I can get the colour right, that's an option. How's that? It has that, classical faded, badly printed 18th century image quality about it. The saturation is so high. It's not go too bright. It could go quite darkish. Drop the contrast to no more than 30. Still only just playing with this, I'm not entirely sure yet. Not entirely sure. Worked for a guy that called had a touring company called Not Entirely Sure Tours. Lovely fella. Light leaks. And you can tell this is an old preset. Light leaks indeed. And it hasn't got levels either. Small. That is as small as it is. Maneuver this around until I find something better-ish. I'm still nowhere near convinced. Good stuff, David. Cheers. I'm not sure what the score is, Paul, but if you're going to be in the area, Paul, give us a shout. I can certainly go down and meet you if you're coming up and I'm going to be in the area. I was actually trying to sort out a meeting with the gallery owner just to see what the crack was, because I'm more than happy to have an artist's day where I'll be there to talk to the patrons of the place and answer questions on about why and how and all that kind of stuff. So I mean that's kind of yet to be decided, but if you're in the area, Paul, just drop us a line. I'll say hello. Not a problem at all. I'm not sure why I'm getting too involved in this edit, because it's not test stroke. Why did I start making these images? It's so hard, so much harder than normal landscapes. Well, normal landscapes, it's just whatever's in front of you. Tweaked. Right, let's change the colour system. Actually, I need to add in, excuse me, add in levels and curves, because I didn't have them on there. There we are, and then we've got a little bit more control of colour now. Right, okay, I'm going to go back to, whatever. Right, yeah, so film type, that's on, that should be on warm, right, okay. Increase the fadedness, increase the strength. Then levels and curves need some adjustment. Let's bring that down, bring that up. Get to the point I'm not liking this either. Oh, too many buttons. Sometimes I just start worrying about how formulaic my images are getting. I mean, it's just, I mean, or whether it's just a case I really struggled because it was so bright and so sunny. Because that was a problem as well. I had a lot less control about movement because I only had generally a fifth of a second to get movement in. I'll go quite dark. Not happy. Not a happy bunny tonight with this image. Start adjusting some colours. Let's go yellow. I hate yellow. Go yellow in the highlights. Right, Mr. Blue, you can go back up there. Highlights in the yellow to give that, you know, aged tobacco stained oil paint kind of look. So that's only affecting the highlights. Let's leave that there. Let's have a tweak of the reds. Let's keep it low. Red's quite a dangerous kind of colour because it can dominate. Really can. They may be, Ruth, but they're a hell of a lot harder. And frustrating. So frustrating. Oh, fine tuning of colour. No, too nuclear. Sorry, itchy eyeball. Red, blue, green. Done RGB. Before, after, before, after. I think I was happy with the colour before. Now I'm not happy with the positioning of this. Can I get any bigger? Yes, I can. That's good. This blob here. I'd rather, oops, pick the right thing, Andy. Don't be it. Oh, it's done that thing where it's run out of memory. Oh no, there we go. Sometimes craps out on me.
now starting to completely rethink the image, which is not conducive to work at all. To me that nearly looks nice, but we're looking for a historic feel to an image. Oh, this bit was really annoying. If we go that way, let's completely screw it up and see what happens. No, I thought it red. Doesn't need to be that way. I'll make it smaller. Does that make it better or worse? Or moves it in a slightly different location. Spin it around a bit more. Reduce its halfway is about its money, isn't it? It's a fair old distance from Suffolk, Paul. My frustration isn't good for me though, Peter, is it? My proficiency at making imagery slows right down. I think I'm gonna have to blend this together as 2 layers. So the original, excuse me, on the original I'm liking this kind of spot here, but when I bring in that top layer it just disappears into a lump of red. So I think I need to do something in Photoshop to kind of blend that together. I'm still not happy with the colour. Not by a long shot. Let's try some more. Starting colour schemes. God, they're all pants. Oh, terrible. Let's increase the fadedness to max. Give that softer feel. I think the big takeaway from this should be don't shoot in the middle of the day. Actually this colour's not too bad. It doesn't need to be as strong, but it certainly does give you that old chocolate, that old biscuit tin kind of reproduction of a old painting. Yeah, go for that. Reduce the fadedness. Oh, maybe no, still needs to be up there. That's fine. There's a bit with the levels adjustment. There is some warmth there. You know, the reds, so it doesn't become too green. So that's yeah. I'm warming to this now. Finally. Holy crap. It's been a frustrating one for something so beautiful and so pretty. Such a lovely spot. Bloody hard to make an image of. Might do another version in a minute. Ugh, excuse my sniffing. It is the wine and the heating. Apologies. Right, okay. Let us now. Let's just okay this out of here. Let's get on with the next stage. Thank you very much for everybody for watching. Numbers are good tonight, so thank you for that. And please remember, please do say hello in chat. And if you're watching later on and you haven't been here for the live bit, then leave a comment. Because if you leave a comment, you may well win a print from tonight. And they may, I don't know yet, but they may well be a very exclusive print. It may well only be one version of it, such a thing. Yeah, you can see underneath this, the new layers. I really like this area here. So that's one area I do need to do something with. And darken and multiply isn't. Well, multiply looked very dark, but overlay, soft light. Let's go with that normal. I'm just going to make a copy of that layer. I'm going to put it on the top. And I'm going to do soft light, and then I'm going to reduce the opacity to just a little, 50%. Negative mask, and then I'm going to paint in, this painting. Let's go to 100%. That's not worked. Multiply. Let's go to 30%-ish and just work on that very little spot. Just rub some of that out. Actually, let's just rub it all out. Knock the opacity up. Right, and paint this back in with a smaller brush. Press the right button on it. And then it's just that line there. And just work. Jesus Christ, Andy, man. My control is terrible. Let's just paint all that out. Soft. Let's go for a big smudgy brush. Something like that. That means there is a little, if I look at it properly without any lights on, I'm sure there is a bit more of a line down the edge of that ruinous section. Thank you very much. Yeah, it is quite gothic, and it feels like early 1800s type of image, which is something I quite like. Right, what am I going to do now? I need to Viveza. Let's get it a Viveza. Do some quick and nasty edits to it. Could probably go full Gothic. That's the drink talking, and go in a very greenish, nighttime moonlit type of. Image. Go. Glass number 3. We're into dangerous territory now. This is where my speech completely disappears. Right. So we're going to go green like that, but then go contrasty and go dark. And then that just looks terrible. Yeah, let's forget about that idea. That was just a suggestion. We're not going to go down that route. we're going dark, but we're going, like, them reds are really starting to dominate. I think you could go dark in selective areas. So you could do a selective, like using a control point. You could increase its contrast on here and really make a thing of that ruined gable end. You can drop the saturation a bit over the whole image. Structure you can probably increase quite a bit, certainly in this area. So I think there's a few control point issues to do here. I'm going to have generally over, the saturation just drop a touch. So control point on here, I'm going to do add quite a bit of contrast. Drop that down there. Bit of structure, not a lot, just a wee bit. And then in here, I'm going to add in quite a bit of structure. He says, and then scale them back. A little bit of contrast. I said a little bit, Andy, not that much. I just want to leave that at 0. So what's that difference look to that as well? So yeah, immediately it's giving us more edge to that window. I maybe just want a little bit of more light into here. Just so there's a bit more definition between the trees on the left hand here and then this ruined block here. And this area actually houses the grave of Sir Walter Scott, for those of you that are into poetry and that type of thing. Famous Scottish poet, or famous poet from Scotland, originally from Scotland, I think. He may well have been in England a lot of his life, I'm not sure, I'm not an expert, I just know his grave's there. Buried there in 1832, off the top of my head, if I remember rightly. Right, overall structure doesn't need much. Shadow adjustments, fine, just a small amount. Overall hue adjustment, just a wee bit, a little bit under, there we go. All the blues, I'm just going to bring that down just a wee bit. Everything's just small bits, wee adjustments. You can tell I was in Scotland yesterday. Wee this and wee that. Come on, show me your adjustment. We can take out a lot of the green. No, let's not go there. Let's save that edit for another day. Let's leave that as it is. Contrast, just a touch. This is incredibly frustrating. The only problem with adding that light in there is it now feels like there's 2 sunlights. So maybe I need to bring that over here. Unbalance things then. But I just need to get rid of that one. Maybe drop something in here. Let's just structure. That's better. Maybe double that up and have one a little bit higher up. That gives things a bit of a structure over there. Let's have some structure over here. Block out the light so I can see. Still too bloody light. That's too red. Oh, to hell with it. Let's go with that. We'll do some more alterations in. Thanks, Tina. Yeah, I caught everybody unawares by starting early. And I don't need any more wine, that's for certain. These edits are going bad enough. Not a bad one. Not a bad wine, that though. French by the looks of it. Going by the language on it. Yeah, France. 2015 variety. Not that I know much about wine. Thankfully. Rarely drink, thankfully. Right. Curves adjustment. Let's get this down a bit. Ooh. Let's get rid of that point there. Without it, with it. Oh, it's frustrating. It should be so easy with beautiful scenery like this, but it's not. It's so frustrating. I just feel like it's a nothing image now. Go for another image, another colour overlay. Hey, it's best it's looked all night. Colour. Let's reduce this until I can see. 1%. Let's just increase that a little bit. 20%. Without it, with it, without it, with it. It's not really the effect I was wanting. Multiply. What was that? What was that dark one? That glanced past me. That one, vivid light. It's a bit strong, but if I can bring it all the way down and just slowly, Andy. Let's just go back to note. Let's not go overboard. 1, 7, 16, 9% there. Off, on, off, on. That's better. I'm starting to like that a bit better now. It still does feel a bit moonlighty, but without the nighttime colour. Curves adjustment. Let us go to that. No, let's not go with that there. And let us do a blend if. If Peter's still watching, let's try a blend if. Where the hell are you there? I forgot, it's off screen. I put it off screen so I can actually see what I'm doing on the screen. So blending options. So this layer I want to. Yeah, it's only really the light areas I need to work with. Excuse me. Nothing important. Right, split this slider. Oh, I'm sniffing terribly. I must apologise for that. Stop it. You go over there. So if you don't know what I'm doing, I'm manoeuvring. So I don't want what I don't want. What do I want? Let's cancel that. Forgetting what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I'm trying to darken the sky and not the foreground. That's what I'm doing. So darken the sky. So I need to leave that up there. Leave that up there, and lighten this area. So about there. Then split the slider, take that back there, and then just bring that up till it's to a point where it's kind of alright. Oh, apologise for that sniff. That's what drinking wine will do. Right, let's clear that and see how the. That's just made the entire thing dark. Right, let's invert this mask. Wish there was a right click and invert on Photoshop instead of going up to here, wherever it is. Invert. You get back in your hole. Yeah, right, paint. Flow. Need a bigger brush. Sorry, the end of the stream's going very, very randomly. Shan't be much longer. Sounds like the dog's wanting out now, so I might not take too much longer. There we go. That's a little bit better. I am actually going to shrink this brush. Just lighten that up a touch. So the sky's the darker part. That'll look a bit better. Calm down, Peter. As you can tell from the result, I still haven't got a clue what I'm doing with it. Yeah, let's darken the sky down a bit. Makes it better. I'm probably going to hate this until I actually switch these lights off, and then I can see what I'm doing. Maybe let's have a close inspection of what's going on up here, just see if there's any edges that I need to deal with. Seems to be okay. Yeah, not too bad. Excuse me. It could be better, this image. It really could. Just starting to play with things, which I should really calm down with. Let's not go to that. Let's go to half that. Let's get rid of that. Lighten that. Bring this down. That's just too dark. It's too light. I'm just playing for the sake of playing now. Yeah, give up, Andy. Let's just reduce this by a little bit. To about there. Let's have a look at that from distance. It's an image. It ain't brilliant. That's a lot of work for something I'm not that keen on at the minute. Which doesn't bode well for its future, to be honest. That's the that might. Hi Roy, that might be on my desktop. I do have that on my desktop. Hold on, let's get rid of my desktop. See what's there. There you go. There's the Burning Houses of Parliament, the real one. Oh well, these oil paint version of it anyway. Let's bring it all back there. So it has some similarities, I suppose. Right then, we are 3 minutes from 9, so I better wrap up. I will just save this out. I may actually do a crop in Lightroom, so we'll just save this and then move on. I said I would do this for 2 hours, and we are nearly there. Excuse me whilst I rub my eye. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. For those of you that have gotten this far through the stream. Excuse me, I really probably shouldn't have done this while drinking wine. It's not been a good mix because now I am just sniffing all the time because it's gone straight to my sinuses. Excuse me. Along with the heating being on for some reason, it must be cold. No, Scotland, Peter, it's over the border. Dry Priority's over the border. I went to Scotland, so not Northumberland. So yeah, we made a couple of images today, and neither I'm not that bothered about. Well, this one, there's something to it. So I think maybe it's worth a bit of tweaking out once the stream's done and the lights are off and I can actually see what I'm doing. I'll be able to do something a little bit more to it, but I'm not too displeased with that one. So did I save that one? I did. Yes, it's already there, so I'll just give that a 3 so I know where it is. Crop wise, it's probably the crop as it is probably decent. Crop button, there we go. I want that 3x2, so that'll bring it in a little bit more that way to chop off that darker edge. Let's try another one. Let's try a shallower crop. That can probably go to the full edge there. Low, high, maybe it's about there. It's not too bad. Add in a little bit of contrast. The contrast is not working very well. Oh crap, right, blacks down, whites up, clarity up for a few edges. Yeah, something like that. Effects, let's try for a vignette, not that strong. Midpoint about there. Roundness up, feather up. Something like that. That's not too offensive. I'm reasonably happy with that. There we go. Job done. So I will at some stage print this image and the previous image. So if you you're very welcome, Laura and Michaela. yeah, hopefully, Michaela, just drop us a line when you are ready to know what you're up to, and more than happy to meet up with you then. Right then, so yeah, as I was about to say, I will print this image and the previous one, and I think it's only fair that the first person drawn out will get the first image, and the second person drawn out will get this image. There'll be A3 prints on Photospeed art fibre paper, my paper of choice. So all you need to do with that is, once I've hit stop on this video, then leave a comment in the comments below. They will be open until let's say Sunday evening, 11:59 PM UK time. So any comments left by then will qualify for the draw, and then I'll do a draw, and then I'll either notify you directly or via the next stream, which will be in 2 weeks' time, because I'm not available next Tuesday evening. Just so you remember. Ruth, I sometimes like an image straight away. To be honest, if I don't like an image straight away, it hasn't got a lot of hope of retaining me. So I'm liking this second one a little bit more now. It's just taken a lot of work to get there. It's taken over an hour. But then again, sometimes I'll work on an image for 2 or 3 hours without a problem. So the other problem is being I've got 2 big lights streaming at me, which I can't actually see the screen too well. So thank you very much for watching, and also if you want to know how I live stream and why and all that kind of stuff, check out my latest video. That should answer a few questions anyway. So thank you very much. Before I horrify you all by sniffing loads and grossing you out, thanks Peter, as always, for tuning in. You're a star, for coming back week after week after week, and thank you all, everybody else that comes back week after week after week. Very much appreciate it. Oh, that was gross. Oh, excuse me. Thanks, Paul. Hopefully see you sometime during the summer. That'll be wonderful. Right, I'm going to call it quits now. It's way after 9 o'clock. I've got chickens to put to bed and a dog to let out. So I will see you all soon. And thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for joining for the last 50 episodes, the previous 49 episodes. It's been great to have your company and your support. I wouldn't still be doing it without you. So thank you very much for that. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time, I hope. Keep it hard. See ya.